And there he is, cute little baby black mamba, just big enough to be able to tail without really worrying too much. This is how humans swim, right?
Eyes on me, eyes on me. Ah!
There's just something about a big king cobra. We're here with a beautiful African dwarf crocodile. Come here.
What is up, fellow humans?
Today we are at Chandler's Wild World with Chandler's Wildlife. He just got back from Arizona, which means
Tucson, Arizona.
Whoa. Well, that means that we have to clean out a lot of these enclosures because guess what happens when you're out of town? Snakes poop. So we're gonna start off with some of the more dangerous and cooler things that he's got. This is the South American bushmaster.
Bushmaster! Ah! Oh, you, sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Interrupt. You can do it.
So this is the largest or longest viper species on the planet. They've been known to get well over 10 feet. I believe the record is close to 12 feet long. So these guys can be found in South America, including the Peruvian Amazon, which is where we will one day go to find one of these beautiful snakes.
Sponsored by CWL.
Now, it's important to note that these are a highly venomous viper and they have a very high fatality rate whenever they actually bite humans. So we definitely don't want to take a bite from this beautiful snake, but it does appear to be a gentle giant. You can see, if we come over here, take a look at these scales. These guys have a really unique scalation. They kind of have almost beaded scales like you'll see on beaded lizards or Gila monsters, which is very, very unique for a snake. Super pretty, even though this snake is going into shed. Normally, you would see a much brighter pattern on this snake, but either way, absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna put him in this snake holding receptacle and we're gonna go ahead and clean out that enclosure and get him moved back inside afterwards. All right, time to get this snake out of the snake holding receptacle. Thank you for joining us, Chandler. And back into her enclosure. Now that she's got no poop in there and some fresh water, of course. We do want to be very gentle with this snake. Bushmasters are pretty well known for being quite fragile, even though they're so large. You would expect a snake like this to be a pretty hardy animal, but they are one of the more fragile vipers out there, so you do need to be careful. You don't want to drop them or mishandle them for sure. And you can see just an absolutely beautiful snake. Look at that cryptic pattern. Imagine coming across a 10-foot bushmaster in the middle of the Amazon in the wild. That would be incredible.
Have you seen their tails before? How they have a modified scale that's like a thorn.
Oh, they do, yeah.
And as they grow, it gets bigger. And it's like a rose's thorn. They slap it on the leaves to make a rattling sound.
Very cool. You'll see that adaptation with some different species of snakes. The snakes like mud snakes will have that too, and they'll actually use it to poke predators and stuff. So kind of neat. There's,
you know how you notice about these guys? Kind of like a green tree python or like other arboreal snakes that like hold off on pooping for a while, like a month or two. And then when they shed, they like shed and poop all at the same time. The bushmaster does the same thing, at least the ones that I've owned. So she's super thick in her last third right now. After she sheds, she should shed and take a giant crap in the enclosure.
Fantastic.
So when you get your bushmasters, they'll hold off on pooping for a while.
Good to know for future knowledge.
Just like me when I'm snake hunting.
That's disturbing. So now we're moving on to a really special snake. This is something you don't really see much of here in the United States. This is the Papuan black snake. So this is another one of those super dangerous, super toxic elapids from that part of the world over by Australia. These guys are found in Papua New Guinea, which is just north of Australia. So if that tells you anything about how dangerous this snake is going to be, yeah. So pretty much every elapid over there is pretty gnarly, except for the few mildly venomous elapids, which is kind of unique to Australia. There's things like the bandy over there, where a bite is considered to be mildly venomous, which is very strange. For
there's a bunch of weird, like
little
super mildly venomous elapids, which is crazy because like most elapids can kill you.
You don't think about it. Usually when you think about elapids, you think about these dangerous snakes where super, neurotoxic venom that'll destroy your your internal systems, and this is very unique to Australia where they have those few mildly venomous.
But this one will kill you.
Yeah,
this one will 100% kill you.
This one will mess you up.
There's no anti-venom nearby.
That is for sure. So we're going to be very cautious handling this snake. I expect it to be twitchy. I expect it to reverse on the hook and be a little spastic, just like that. And it's everything that I wanted and expected from this snake. So we're going to be
spastic, erratic. Can you nab this? Come on, spit some verses while you do this.
I'm handling this. Okay.
I am handling this snake. I'm definitely human. I'm gonna pull out a big black.
I promise I am human.
I promise I am human.
The snake is really zooming.
The snake might shoot out and start chewing. Oh!
There he is, or she is. It's female, right?
Yeah. She's really, really old, and you're gonna see she's got this like fatty tissue growth that snakes get when they get older. It's not parasites, because she's been treated for parasites multiple years in a row, and she eats captive bred frozen thawed rodents. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna see she's got like this fatty deposit that old snakes will get. Old king cobras will get it too. There you go. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, so there she is, the beautiful Papuan black snake. Everything I could have wanted out of an Australian elapid here. Fantastic. And we're not gonna sit with this snake out for too long. We're gonna get it
just try to bite the trash can, actually.
Straight into the receptacle.
She's she used to like bite cameras while we were filming.
Yeah.
I used to use a camcorder.
Gnarly snake.
We used to use a camcorder, and I remember Ruth, when she was filming for me, I literally bit like the lens, the shutter, whatever you call it, that little lip around it, just chewed on the camera.
Wild
Chewed
snake.
on receptacles, cans, everything. Hooks. Almost got me one time. One time the snake flew out at me and just nearly punched me in the pit of my arm where my arteries and veins are.
Yeah, these Australian...
Look at this.
These Australian and Papuan elapids are no joke. I mean, they're just twitchy, they're fast, they change direction like no other snakes. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you see the little growth that she just got recently?
Yeah.
She's an old snake.
Yeah, I don't know of anyone else with these right now, so I imagine she's one of the last few.
Yeah, I've had an opportunity to bring them in, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not super interested in doing it. So yeah, like I said, I gotta fill up water bowls, I gotta clean, spot clean, so I'm just getting everything nice and clean now I'm back in town.
Absolutely. All right. Now that we're done with the cleaning, we can get the Papuan black snake back out here. It is busy spazzing around in the bottom of this receptacle here. We're gonna do this really quick and easy, get this snake out. I'm gonna readjust a little bit because I have the tail a little bit further down than I would like. There we go.
Do whatever makes you comfortable.
Well, you don't, that's one of the things I see with a lot of people handling snakes sometimes. They'll hold the tail of the snake down past the cloaca, and that is a little bit too far down on the snake. That's a good way to injure the snake sometimes. So you wanna try and get it a little bit further up past that cloaca, and then your odds of accidentally hurting the snake definitely go down. But super cool snake, obviously a very old specimen, probably been in the US for a couple of decades if I had to guess. Not a lot of these left, but super cool nonetheless.
Oh, lucky.
And you gotta lock it and secure it.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Teamwork.
Team.
Next up, we're taking a look at a really interesting hybrid that we don't have. We have a couple hybrids, but this is the Gabino viper. So this is, of course, a hybrid between the West African Gaboon viper and the rhino viper. Makes this really neat looking hybrid with some really cool colors on it. You can see some really interesting blues and yellows in there, and the pretty typical rhino viper reds as well. Let's go ahead and move the snake over here for a better look. But super beautiful snake. You can see it's got like a beautiful black arrowhead right on the top of the head, which is super sweet. And then those reds, those blues, those yellows, super unique pattern. This is a hybrid that has been documented in the wild also. So just like the batwing rattlesnake, this is a naturally occurring hybrid, unlike the cottonhead that we sometimes show on our channel. And it is a pretty good example of the mix between the two. Like if you look at the snake, you can definitely tell it definitely has some rhino viper influence in it, and it definitely has a little bit of Gaboon viper influence in it. So a really unique hybrid that's super pretty, and this snake might even be going into shed soon too.
Yeah, usually this one's a lot prettier. You know what's really interesting about this? Some of the first ones that were brought into the country were labeled as rhino vipers when imported,
I can
and
see
the
that.
importers themselves didn't know that they had these hybrids. They thought they're just pretty rhino vipers. So then a few buddies of mine that back in the day were going to these places to pick out rhino vipers from the fresh imports, they're like, that looks like a hybrid. That's not a rhino.
Yeah.
So they try to leave with it. And then I remember one story where my buddy got one from an importer, was leaving. One of the people in the office was like, hey, that's not a rhino. Goes up to the owner, was like, hey, you got to charge him more for this. This is a hybrid.
Yeah.
And then the owner was like, that's a f***ing rhino. Take it out of here. And the owner didn't know. So then my buddy got one of the first Gabinos for nothing.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
I was
I mean-
able to work with it when I was a kid.
Yeah, you could see how people would make the mistake. They definitely have more of that brighter coloring like a rhino would have.
The snake.
All right, time to get this beautiful snake back in the enclosure here. You always want to make sure that you are supporting snakes like this so that have a really heavy body. Definitely don't want to put too much weight on one pressure point because that is a good way for them to break their ribs and stuff like that. So definitely support your gaboon vipers, your puff adders, your rhinos, and of course your hybrids between any of the two. That's another interesting thing. A lot of people don't know this, but there have been gaboon and puff adder hybrids also.
That's definitely on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Like captive.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling that is 100% only been done in captivity, but super interesting looking snake either way. Not something you see a lot though.
Hybrids are interesting because like not everyone loves them, but they do occur naturally.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, it's interesting, you know, it's
Yeah.
interesting to talk about, interesting to see and learn about. And if it happens in nature, then like,
Yeah.
right here we have something really special now. Chandler, this is a black mamba that you actually produced, right?
Yes, Kobe, the black mamba that Dingo Dinkelman gave me as a gift as a tiny baby. Raised him for 5+ years or so. And he was big enough to breed with my big female. She passed away unfortunately last year, but she got to be like 10 foot before she died.
Cool.
Every year she would lay infertile eggs. Dingo was nice enough to send me a male, raised them up, put them together. They produced. I tried to do like incubation in the room. So I had a lot of eggs, but unfortunately only one egg hatched properly. And that's this little guy. He wasn't eating for months. And then out of nowhere he started slamming food.
Nice.
And he didn't start slamming food until I gave him a name, and I named him Dingo in honor of Mr. Dingo Dinkelman.
A great name.
So he's doing great. He's getting bigger. He's actually in shed right now. He's probably right there in that hide.
Well, let's take a closer look at this little guy.
Look at that.
Get the hide out first. And there he is, cute little baby black mamba. You can see already moving super quick. Beautiful little snake here. Let's go ahead and tail it. Just big enough to be able to tail without really worrying too much here, but you can see beautiful little black mamba. And of course, they have that name not because of the color of their scales.
Sorry. Oh, God.
But because of the color of their mouth instead. So you'll notice they have this gray coloration all along their back, and that has nothing to do with their name at all. Only the inside of the mouth. This is a really cool snake here. This is the Pygmy king brown snake, or Pygmy mulga. So these guys can be found in Papua New Guinea and also Australia, which is why we don't see a lot of these in the United States. The US is very strict about which Australian animals they let enter the country, even if they come from legal routes, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. So this is the first brown snake that I have ever been able to handle, which is super exciting. I expect about the same as we saw from the Papuan black snake earlier. These guys are known for being pretty cranky animals. So we're gonna be very careful with how we handle this snake, just as we were with the Papuan black snake. You can see already spazzing out a little bit here.
Deep in shed.
Absolutely fantastic. There we go. Okay, he's letting me hook him a little bit here. You can see, not the most visually appealing snake, but still, for someone like me, this is a very, very cool snake to be able to interact with. We don't have a lot of opportunities to work with brown snakes in the US, so this is definitely a treat for me. That is another one of the more deadly, or more potentially deadly, more venomous snakes that I've been able to work with. So super cool. We're gonna get his enclosure all cleaned out, give him some fresh water, and then maybe we'll go play with some crocodilians.
That's pretty cool.
Now it's time to put this Pygmy mulga or Pygmy king brown snake back. So interesting fact about these guys, they aren't truly a brown snake. Now I know I call them a brown, that's just because they're called king browns, but they're actually a part of the black snake family. So they're close relatives to the Papuan black snake we took a look at earlier, as well as the collet snake, which we've shown in the past here. These guys are known for having a pretty high venom yield, especially the non-Pygmy king browns. The normal king browns get much bigger, more like the 8-foot range in length. Obviously this being an adult Pygmy king brown is probably closer to the 5-foot range. And it's not going to have nearly as high of a venom yield as the massive, you know, 7-8 foot king browns that you'll find, but still a really interesting and really cool snake. He's going for a little bit of a ride.
I was just trying to give you more space to work with.
Of course, of course. Honestly, not nearly as much of a pain in the butt to work with as I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, they can be nasty snakes, but you know, when I first got this snake, the previous owner, you know, he took it super seriously. I take it seriously too, but he was very whippy when I first got him, and he tends to slow down. He's really dangerous when you feed him though. He will fly out of the enclosure and land on the floor. I actually have that on video on Chandler's Wildlife. Subscribe, please.
Yeah, my coastals will do the same thing. They'll come, if they see a mouse or a rat, they'll come flying out. It's crazy.
The coastals are so dangerous. Now that my coastals are somewhat bigger, because I got them as tiny hatchlings, now they're getting on like 2 foot plus or so, and they'll, even before when they're smaller, they can fly out the tanks they're in, these little 10-gallon fish tanks. So like they're super dangerous. Definitely top 2, top 3 most dangerous snakes in the world to handle.
That's something I'll agree with for sure.
Yeah, we got a comment below. Random thing I want to throw at you guys. Comment below. Do you want to see the Lamp and I go to Indonesia and catch Komodo dragons and blue and Solaris? Would you like that? Big Malaysian.
There he is.
There we go.
Hey, buddy.
Here we go. Big, beautiful Malaysian king cobra that I got last Christmas. And previous owner just didn't want him anymore. I think he got him. Wild caught snake originally. Little, not like too skinny, but underweight a bit. You know, it's not easy for people to get feeder snakes in America unless they live in Florida, where we have Burmese pythons. So I got his weight up, dewormed him, and he's definitely way bigger. He's shed like 6-7 times since I got him.
Yeah, he's a good sized snake for sure. Absolutely.
I'd like to get a female Malaysian and breed pure Malaysian king cobras.
Gotcha.
That would be a dream come true. Listen, I'm just gonna move him a little bit over here, away from the cage. You can film with him, just be careful. Look at that. There's a big hook here if you need it.
Yeah, give me that.
I'm just gonna do the water and whatnot. Karate kick.
There's just something about a big king cobra.
They're my favorite species of snake in the
They're
world.
just an incredible animal.
Nothing beats a big king cobra. You're gonna love this. You're gonna get a good shot of this African slender snout. It's right on the land. So critically endangered African slender snout croc. Less than 500 of these guys left in the wild. And once he's big enough, we'll breed him to the female.
Oh yeah, there he is.
And I'm gonna be one of the only facilities privately owned on this side of the hemisphere breeding them.
That would be cool.
You know, they can shoot out old black melanistic babies. So imagine an old black slender snouted croc like Spinosaurus.
Yeah, I've seen one of those in person. They're incredible looking animals.
I love them. Take this bucket and these tongs and just use it as a shield and run past her. Just go that way quick.
What are you doing? Come here. Come here.
Here, let me get the phone. Get ready to feed her. Hold. Oh. She's not trained.
Come here, JJ. Oh, there we go. We're here with a beautiful African dwarf crocodile. This is the species of crocodile that is on my list. This will be one of the next animals that we get. This is obviously Chandler's dwarf crocodile. We're gonna feed it a little bit here. Oh, 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 and she gets it. Super awesome crocodilian. As you can see, they are relatively small. This individual is only around that 4-foot range, and they do not get much bigger than this. So let's go ahead. We're gonna give it a chick here to spice the diet up a little bit. Come here, sweetheart. Come here, come here. There you go, there you go. All right. And you can hear those powerful jaws getting that food down. Absolutely incredible animal. You can see those incredible scales. And she said, I'm done. Here, JJ. Oh, come here. JJ, come here. Come here. Oh, there you go, sweetheart. Look at that. That is an incredible animal. Look at the teeth on this crocodilian. Absolutely. I am so excited to get one of those. Incredible animal. It's otter time. It's otter time. Whoa. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's running. He's running. He's confused. Hello. 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 What are you doing? What are you doing, Kaido? Oh Lord, he's coming.
Don't be scared of him, he's fine.
Oh Lord, he's coming.
He's just hitching a ride.
He's my boy. That's Kaido, he's my boy.
Aww.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed our time here at Chandler's Wild World. I have an otter biting my hand currently. It was an alright day. Got to see some wildlife. It's now biting my arm. I will bleed. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Take care.
Wait!
On the next one. Oh.
Subscribe to Chandler's Wildlife. Follow your dreams. Stay passionate about what you love, but subscribe to my channel first. Then follow your dreams. Kind of, let's go. Or keep biting him. I don't care.